Welcome to RankLens. Today, we count down the top 10 street foods that quietly conquered the world. Every city on Earth has a street corner where food gets made fast and tastes unforgettable. These aren't fancy restaurants. They're humble stalls and carts that started in one neighborhood, on one corner, and somehow conquered the world. Some traveled along ancient trade routes. Others hitched a ride in the pockets of immigrant families. A few even went viral in movies. But they all share one incredible thing. They didn't just survive, they thrived. They embedded themselves so deeply into global food culture that you'd almost forget where they came from. Today, we're counting down the street foods that spread the furthest and dug in the deepest. This is the top 10 street foods that quietly conquered the world. At number 10, bánh mì, the Vietnamese-French sandwich that redefined what fusion street food could be. Born in post-World War II Saigon, this dish is pure cultural crossover. A crispy French colonial baguette stuffed with Vietnamese fillings, pickled daikon, fresh herbs, and cilantro. The marriage of two worlds on a single sandwich. After Vietnam's fall in 1975, the Vietnamese diaspora scattered across the globe to the United States, France, Australia, and they brought bánh mì with them. Today, you'll find bánh mì stalls from Los Angeles to Melbourne to Paris, each one tracing a direct line back to Saigon's street corners. What's remarkable is how quickly it became the symbol of Vietnamese street food abroad, affordable, transportable, and tasting like home. Bánh mì didn't just travel, it became the global face of Vietnamese cuisine. At number 9, Samosa, the triangular pastry that traveled 3 continents and landed in every food culture it touched. Samosas likely traveled from Central Asia to South Asia centuries ago, moving along medieval trade routes and the Silk Road. But their real global conquest began with one of the world's largest diasporas, the Indian community. From the United States to France to East Africa, Indian families carried samosas with them, and today you'll find samosa stalls from Nairobi to Toronto. That's not just geographical spread, that's cultural embedding. Samosas didn't arrive in these places as exotic novelties. They became everyday street food, the snack you grab on your lunch break, part of the local food landscape. The fact that a pastry can journey that far and feel like it belongs everywhere says something profound about food's power to travel. At number 8, shawarma, the Levantine spit roast wrap that conquered the street food world through immigration and a little Hollywood luck. Shawarma's roots trace back to Ottoman-era rotisserie cooking in Anatolia. But its modern global spread came through Middle Eastern diaspora communities spreading across Europe, Latin America, and North America. Then in 2012, something unexpected happened. A major Marvel blockbuster featured a shawarma scene, and suddenly millions of viewers around the world were curious about this street food they'd never heard of. Today, shawarma stands operate everywhere, from the Middle East to Latin America to the deepest reaches of Western cities. It's become the default wrap on countless street corners, a food so universal that many people don't even realize where it comes from. At number 7, Pad Thai, the Bangkok noodle dish that started as a government initiative and became the world's most ordered Thai street food. Here's something surprising. Pad Thai wasn't always Thailand's national dish. In the 1930s and 1940s, the Thai government actively promoted it as a unifying national food to bring the country together. The strategy worked brilliantly. Pad Thai's sweet, sour, salty, umami balance made it one of the most accessible Asian noodle dishes on Earth, approachable even for people trying Asian food for the very first time. When Thai diaspora communities spread across the world, they introduced Pad Thai as the definitive gateway dish to Thai cuisine. Today, if you walk into a Thai restaurant anywhere on the planet, Pad Thai is almost guaranteed to be one of the top ordered dishes. A 1940s government promotion became a global phenomenon. At number 6, falafel, the chickpea fritter that became the default global vegetarian street food on nearly every continent. Falafel's exact origin is genuinely disputed. Egypt, Lebanon, and Israel each claim it as their own. But what matters for global domination is this: it's made from ground chickpeas or fava beans, which makes it naturally vegan. During the 1970s and 1980s, as the vegetarian food movement gained momentum in the West, falafel became the go-to street food for people avoiding meat. It spread not because of a single diaspora, but because it filled a gap, the universal gap for accessible, affordable, vegetarian street food. Today, that gap filling makes it virtually universal. At number 5, ramen, the Japanese noodle stall staple that launched a global premium ramen shop movement spanning 6 continents. Ramen evolved from Chinese wheat noodle dishes that arrived in Japan during the late 19th century. But Japan transformed it into something distinctly its own. Then, in 1958, Momofuku Ando invented instant ramen, which became one of the world's best-selling food products. Japan's investment in ramen culture created ramen museums, ramen tourism, and a thriving international ramen community. Today, people queue outside dedicated ramen shops, willing to pay $20 a bowl. A street food became a craft, and the world took notice. At number 4, Döner Kebab, the Turkish immigrants' Berlin cart that became Germany's top fast food and then conquered the entire European street food landscape. In the early 1970s, a Turkish immigrant named Kadir Nurman created the modern Döner Kebab sandwich in Berlin, taking Ottoman-era rotisserie cooking and pairing it with bread to create something portable. Germany now has more Döner Kebab shops than Istanbul does. Let that sink in. The capital of Döner culture isn't even Turkey anymore, it's Germany. From there, the dish spread east and west across Europe, becoming the go-to late-night street food in cities from London to Prague to Vienna. What makes this remarkable is how completely a single immigrant's invention conquered an entire continent. One idea, one cart, global saturation. At number 3, tacos, the Mexican roadside staple that spawned a worldwide taco truck movement now active across over 100 countries. The corn tortilla at taco's core predates the Spanish conquest. It's Mesoamerican, part of a culinary tradition thousands of years old. But tacos as we know them as street food became an established staple of Mexico City life by the early 20th century. From there, they traveled with Mexican workers and immigrants across North America, Central America, and eventually the world. Then came Taco Tuesday, a cultural phenomenon that transformed tacos from regional food into a global meme, a weekly ritual recognized from New York to Dubai. That phrase alone captures tacos' extraordinary pop culture penetration. Today, over 100 countries have active taco truck cultures. They're not just Mexican food anymore, they're global street food. At number 2, hot dog, the Frankfurt sausage that redefined American street food and spread to stadiums and carts on every continent. Both Frankfurt, Germany and Vienna, Austria, claim credit for inventing the original Frankfurter sausage. But here's what matters. It arrived in America and became iconic. Hot dog carts became fixtures of American city streets in the late 1800s, pioneering the entire street food cart business model that the world still uses today. The hot dog gained its truly global recognition through baseball, America's most exported cultural product during the 20th century. Every baseball game broadcast worldwide featured hot dogs, and hot dogs became synonymous with American culture itself. From there, hot dogs spread to every continent, embedded not just in American culture, but in global sports culture, carnival culture, and stadium culture everywhere. It's the food you eat while watching the game, a role so universal that it's almost invisible. At number 1, pizza. The Neapolitan street slice that achieved total global saturation. The only street food embedded in virtually every country on Earth. Neapolitan pizza originated in Naples in the 18th century as affordable street food for the poor. Simple, accessible, perfect. For 200 years, it stayed mostly regional. Then Italian immigration changed everything. Italian families carried pizza traditions across the Atlantic, and pizza exploded in New York and beyond. But pizza's true global conquest came later. Unlike other street foods that required specific diaspora or cultural moments, pizza belonged everywhere from day one. Every culture, every climate, every taste could accommodate pizza. You could top it with anything. According to UNESCO, the art of Neapolitan pizza making was inscribed on the Intangible Cultural Heritage List in 2017. Today, pizza is sold on every continent, making it arguably the world's most universal food. No other street food conquered the planet like this. These 10 dishes all started small, on a single corner in a single city. But what they reveal is that the world's food systems have never been isolated. They've always been connected through trade routes, immigrant families, and human hunger. What unites all these dishes is that they remained affordable and accessible even as they spread globally. They didn't need fancy restaurants or celebrities. Most succeeded before the internet existed. They succeeded because people wanted them, and because they traveled with communities seeking new homes. In a world that often feels divided, street food tells a different story, a story of cultural exchange and flavors that belong to all of us. These dishes remind us that some of the world's most meaningful exports aren't weapons or technology, they're food. The things we eat on the street, the things that taste like home, taught the world how to taste home 1,000 different ways. And that's the top 10 street foods that quietly conquered the world. If you enjoyed this countdown, subscribe to RankLens for more.